Hi, this is Kate and welcome to the Ordinary Earth Song. Hope you're all well. Spring is progressing. It is 18 degrees today. You got to 19 earlier. How exciting. This is the UK, so this is exciting. I don't like really hot weather personally, but it's nice to see sunlight in some way, shape or form. Anyway, I thought I would do a reading. I felt the urge today, which was nice. And for some reason I'm called to do a reading with these specific crystals. They're pink. I am not a pink person, however we're going with these ones today. We've got pink opal. It's gorgeous. And we have pink amethyst, which I've shown you before, but we'll go again. Got some lovely colours in there. And this one is... my brain's just gone blank. I've just got heart. Oh my goodness. Why's my brain gone completely blank? Rose quartz. It's rose quartz with some golden healer in it. Oh, wow. Okay. Just went straight to heart. Okay, lovely. So those are the three crystals. Those are the three crystals we're going to do the reading with today. Crystal 1, pink opal. Crystal 2, pink amethyst. Crystal 3 is rose quartz, which is pink. So with all the readings, take what resonates, watch what you want, go with your intuition, whatever your gut's telling you. I'm not going to give you much more information than that. And I will see you in whichever one or ones you choose to watch. I'll see you there. Hi, reading number 1. You chose the pink opal. And just as I start this reading, there's an aeroplane going over. Pink opal. This is a beautiful... I'll show it to you in detail. It's a beautiful crystal. So according to Google, it's good for easing a broken heart and encouraging inner peace. Aids with emotional healing and relieves stress, promotes self-love and positive thoughts, connects deeply with the heart and helps with heart-related issues, and enhances understanding, love, communication and self-confidence. So that's lovely, isn't it? Altogether, fantastic. Let's just see if it's got anything he wants to tell us right now. So 1 second, I'm going to connect in. It feels really warm in my hand actually. It feels like it's lightly vibrating. Wholeness and the connection with self. I'm seeing what feels and looks like almost like a lava lamp, but it's kind of blobbing downwards and it's see-through and it's full of light. It's sort of I'm noticing the bird song. Feels like it's lighting up the right hand side of my face, which is where the light is coming from the window. And there's a face with a lot of hair swooped forward. It's kind of tawny coloured hair, a bit like a lion's mane. It's a human face. And there's another aeroplane. Is there something to do with travel? Flight, birds, the love and freedom of travel. Is this a message about travel? Loving travel? We'll find out. Okay. I'm not getting much else. I'll pop that over here. Which deck? We're going to use the Muse Tarot because it's beautiful. And let's pop these cards back in the deck. It's got quite a lot of pink in it, so I thought that might be appropriate. That's my only real reason for using this one. So, let's see what comes through. A message for group number 1, please. Ooh. Straight off the bat there, we've got Hangman and the Tower. Change of perspective and transformational change in a big unexpected way. She's hanging around, but kind of chilling, getting a new perspective. The mountains and the tower. Change. Unexpected, almost violent, disruptive change. However, with the Hanged Man, that isn't a bad thing. That one, there's 2 there, is that okay? And that one, and that one, okay. Let's see, shall we? Page of Emotions. Something heart-centered. Now, is that solar plexus? Page of Emotions. Muse of Emotions. A lot of water energy here. Page of Inspiration. Inspired to travel. Is that what's happening with you right now? Are you inspired? And then Knight of Emotions. Wow, all these cards. Knight of Emotions. Emotional healing relieves stress. I got a real sense of travel here. creating something new from a change of perspective. And I've got a feeling the travel might be the change of perspective, but there's also the hanging around. This tower moment may be the transition from being still, looking for that new perspective, to actually moving into that potential. I'm getting the heart sings. The heart sings when that decision to move is made. And it opens up all this emotional, abundant kind of, there's a boat there. This horse looks like it's ready to go. It wants to run. Being different. That's what I get from that card. It's that self-expression. Or very intuitive. Very intuitively led. Going with your heart. Almost embracing the tower moment, because it means that you're no longer in this stagnant stage of looking, witnessing, observing, making a decision. It feels like you're moving away from that, out of it, completely out of it. I feel like these should be over here actually, because this is the action, this is the outcome. The outcome of this tower moment is this emotional, intuitive outburst of your own creative potential and your ability to not only step out of this stagnant stage where you have chosen to hang around and really be that observer, but you're now stepping out and embracing what happens next, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool indeed. It should be celebrated. We should celebrate that. Ooh, I'm being called to sorry, didn't need to hear that. The Secret Language of Light. Let's have a look. By Denise Jarvie. One was upright and I don't know why. Let your light shine. And that's what you would be doing. You'd be letting your light shine. Okay, what else is there? Let your light shine. Bring yourself out of this and create your own tower moment. I think that's what you're saying. It's that it feels like it's time to take that step. Let the tower fall behind you. Let that tower of contemplation wither and get into alignment with yourself, with the next steps in your life. And allow yourself that journey, because it's beautiful. I felt that one as well. And listen to your inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. Because that's where your guidance comes from. It doesn't come from external sources. You've spent some time contemplating, seeing things from a different perspective, and that different perspective has, I feel, enabled you to see an inner light, an inner guidance. An inner voice is right there, and it is gently taking you through to the next step. Now, this tower moment may be a moment that is quite frightening, because it could be challenging in many ways, but in actual fact, the comfort is here that this is guided action. And for as long as you carry on being heart-centered and listening to the guidance, your inner voice, trusting yourself, in alignment with yourself, letting yourself shine, this is a real opportunity. Heart-centered action, going with the flow. Tower moment, yeah, that's going to happen. It always happens. It happens to everybody all the time. How you deal with the tower moments actually, will be the thing that affects you the most, really. How do you deal with that moment of ultimate change? That switch, that transition. Because if you deal with it in a way that is fearful, it means that you're not trusting. It means you're not trusting your inner guidance. You're not listening to yourself in your wholeness. Because you see the potential, you see the opportunity, you see that this is here as something that you can do. But there's something. Maybe this has held you back and that's why you've been hanging around for so long. I don't know. But it feels like you've been hanging around for a little while. Use the pendulum. Okay? Use the pendulum. What we're going to ask the pendulum then? We're going to use this one. We're going to use my Super 7. Hi, are you there? Let's keep my arms still. Interesting. Didn't want me to use my Super 7. Wanted me to use my Quartz. Okay, I'm connecting in. Are you there? Can you show me yes, please? And can you show me no? And just for shits and giggles, can you show me unknown, please? Okay, thank you. Sorry. Okay. Just to confirm, is this my whole self? Hi. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we're doing this reading, as you know, and just want to confirm a couple of things. For the group that watched this, has this been accurate so far? So they've been hanging around for a while. They'll be looking at their perspective of things. And some point, is it going to be soon? They're going to have a transformational moment. Is it going to be soon? Will it be in the next 3 months? Okay, thank you. Will it be difficult? Will they get through it? Thank you. Have they been in this state for a little while? And is it the fear of this transformation, the change, the challenge of the tower moment? Sorry, I had to push my hair back. Is that the reason they haven't moved forward? No. Is it they haven't moved forward yet because it wasn't time? Okay, and the time is coming. Will they choose when it happens? Can they stop the tower moment from happening? That's uncertain. So it's possible. They could choose to stay where they are for a bit longer. Okay, so that's in your hands. But the tower moment will lead to a new level of understanding of the self. New opportunities to travel, to explore, to create. And they can do that in a heartfelt and heart-led way. And this will lead to further alignment with their own inner voice and guidance. The more they listen, the more aligned they'll become. Thank you. So that's it, guys. Let your own light shine. In your own time, though. Thank you. That was interesting because part of that message was you can choose to stay where you are for a bit longer. That's entirely up to you. There is no forcing you into this moment, into this tower moment. So the choice is yours. Which I think is kind of cool, actually, because it means there's no pressure there. There's no kind of like, you don't have to do it, you know. If you're not ready, you don't feel ready, then that's fine. There's no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. Anywho, so that's reading number 1. I hope that resonated with someone. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Hello, reading number 2. Welcome, and you chose the pink amethyst, which has got a lovely energy. I've been holding this today during some meetings. And it just fills you with calmness and love, and kind of it's just nice to hold, look at. I love this little druzy pocket. The colours in there, absolutely stunning. Anyway, so this is pink amethyst. It emphasises love, healing and patience. Maybe that's why I've been holding it today. I've needed to be very patient today. It's associated with the heart chakra, cleansing the mind, body and spirit. Ooh, nice. Protecting from negative energy and bad karma. It aids in healing broken hearts and stimulating loving thoughts. Getting this from Google, by the way. Soothes the heart, eases stress and alleviates anxiety. Again, maybe that's why I need to hold this today. It bolsters the immune system. How do you do that? So the energy frequencies. Wow. And it's excellent for meditation and spiritual work. Now I can attest to that because just holding this is making me want to meditate. So, yeah. Let's see what initially comes through the crystal. So one sec. Patience. loving patience. I'm hearing a crow. It's constantly calling. Loving patience. The crow's gone quiet. I'm seeing light through a milky white crystal. I don't know if that means anything to anyone. This felt significant for some reason, but it felt like really long fingers. It was like brushing through hair. It came up in the first reading. I feel like I'm speaking really quietly. I don't want to raise my voice. Now I'm seeing a face looking up from the ground. It's almost like it's part of the ground. And half of the right eye is black in shadow. It has a beard. It's a bit like, on Mars. They have the face on Mars. It's a bit like that, but it's more detailed. And a black shadow of the right eye. It's watching. It's part of the land. Masculine energy. Patience. Calm and patient. Stroking the hair. I don't know. That's all I'm getting. Okay, I hope that meant something. I hope that meant something to someone. I'm not sure. Anyway, right, we're going to do the reading with these muse cards because they're pretty. And today I'm liking the pretty things, which is kind of nice. I love this time of year. Oh my goodness! Do you know what? When I picked this deck up earlier, this was on the bottom of the deck. So temperance, balance. I'm feeling like there's the energy coming in from behind. The moon cycles, intuition. Connecting with your intuition. Finding that ability to balance your decisions. Interesting. Okay. Ooh. That one and those, and that one wants to come out too. And that one, and that one. Okay, that's enough. And that one's just fallen from the top. Okay. Two of Voices. Oh, that was weird. As soon as I saw this card, I thought of puppeteer, because it felt like that was, you know, like a marionette. Decision between two things, but it's not a decision between which door to go through, or even which path to go down, because they both lead to the same doorway. Everything leads to the same thing. But there's still an element of uncertainty, right? Balance again. Duality. Ace of voices. Listening to inner guidance. This is an air card. But there's also that element of distraction. I'm getting distraction. It feels like duality, but it's all leading to the same thing. And there's this element of distraction, but there's still this inner guidance. Are you being distracted from knowing that all roads lead to Rome? Is that Queen of Inspiration? Again, I'm getting a puppeteer. Look at the strings. But this is an extremely powerful person. This is an aligned person who's got this almost like a puppeteer string coming down into a third eye. But he's got rainbow strings, and that feels like the bow of every string. Does that make sense? The string of every bow. The string of every bow is in her hands. Three of Inspiration. Dominoes falling. A doorway again. Travel. Distraction, puppeteer, manipulation, travel, dominoes falling, doorways, temperance, needing to find a way. Having an awareness of this, being aware of this manipulation, even being aware of the distraction. Knowing the inner power of yourself, but constantly being pulled away, constantly being moved into another direction, constantly accidentally tripping the dominoes. Spent hours putting them up, hours putting them in line, and accidentally before you're finished, dunk, they're all gone. I used to love dominoes when I was a kid, but it was really annoying. The world, cosmos. Wow. It feels like things fall down. It feels like you're being manipulated and you're trying to make a decision, but you can't. But all things lead to the same place. All things lead, no matter what decision you make, everything leads to one specific thing. It always will, and it always does. We all go back. No matter how distracted we get, we all go back. Line of emotions coming to an end. See, this is the flow lifting you up. This isn't being manipulated anymore. There are not strings holding up these gems, but they are just beautifully dangling there, like light prisms or sun catchers. You know, if the sun shone through these, you'd get rainbow light everywhere. It'd be absolutely stunningly beautiful. But this water is lifting you up. You're being lifted up out of this. Something to do with temperance here. Something to do with that inner balance. 7 of emotions. This little fishy's got a shark fin. This one's got a laurel like Caesar. This one's wearing a Zorro mask. This one's got fancy pants. Fins. This is a jewel one. I want to say that one's got a beard, but I don't think that's a beard. I just can't focus on it. Can you see it? Trying to make a decision again. Which one to choose? Shine a light on the options. But being lifted up. So this feels like there's a flip-flopping going on. There's a flip-flopping between feeling really connected and, you know, balanced, to being confused and don't know how to make a decision, but you're going to get there anyway, to being distracted, to knocking down the dominoes when you spent ages lifting them up, to kind of like being the queen and having everything at your fingertips, and then flopping back to can't make a decision, or too many choices, but being lifted up, constantly being lifted up, and in that connection, because all things come back to finding that 7 of inspiration, finding that clarity. It feels like there's a need to find clarity here. We all need to find that inner kind of pushing the shadow aside, opening your own doorway. You want to be here. You keep flopping back to this level of uncertainty, and you really are trying to push back the shadow. Maybe there's an element here of finding that balance between them all of this. It doesn't feel like some of this is going to go away, but maybe there's the possibility of finding a way to work with them. So something that's come up today in my life is my own personal kind of reading, which was these cards, these shaman cards. I'll show you. The first one that came out was separation. The next one that came out was falling apart. So I was like, oh, what does this mean? It feels like this is relevant. It feels like this is relevant because then what came out was grief and loss. So I was like, okay, what is going on? Because I don't feel like this is my energy. And what came out, I did a bit of writing. It says here that there is a need to experience what feels like separation at this time. This highlights loss. Things that exist within the understanding and knowing of what is. To be separate and consists of the fundamental experience of not being connected. So there was more, but I've been going through an experience of being aware of, becoming aware of, having, witnessing my own elements of what makes me feel separate. It's been a bit weird, but I've noticed certain things happening. I've noticed that my thoughts about specific things have been there, but I've witnessed them rather than being embedded in them. It's like I've been able to stand to one side and watch myself react in certain ways to things and to certain people, and it's given me that ability to realise the separate elements of who I've become from my past. And because I've been able to witness them in an impartial way, I've had this element of falling apart, in that I've been able to separate those things out, see them for what they actually are. But that's given me an opportunity to then work with them so that I can integrate them back in or let them go and realise that that's not me anymore. So it's only by seeing them clearly that I've been able to say, actually, that isn't me anymore. And that's not the way I'm going to react in the future, or how I'm going to feel about it in the future. And then there's this grief and loss thing. It's like moving on is difficult, because it means you're letting go of some part of yourself. And it's like, well, those parts of myself are ones that I grew over time, and there could be an essence of grief and loss over those things, because that's who I have been. It isn't, however, who I want to be still. So actually, when I'm thinking about these elements of myself, and I'm witnessing them, and I'm seeing them as clearly as possible, I'm looking at the grief and loss. I'm thinking, well, in actual fact, I'm okay letting them go. Yes, it will be different, but genuinely, that isn't who I am. And this was an opportunity for me to see that part of myself. So it then goes on, my writing says, this in turn helps to break down this understanding so that it can be witnessed, understood and incorporated into the whole understanding of self. Because your self isn't just the light and the good, it's also all those other things about yourself that you might be like, oh, I didn't know I didn't know I was like that, actually. But you don't know that about yourself until you've actually witnessed it and seen it with an impartial kind of viewpoint. In our wholeness, we do not know what it is to be separate or disconnected. So when we are in our wholeness, not in a human body, for example, you don't know what separation or disconnection is. You don't have that experience because you're connected to everything. It says, therefore, this experience is key and fundamental to the knowing of the whole self. So every part of yourself. And it's part of the reason for having this experience in the first place. That's why we're here. It's why we're here on earth, is to have this experience of duality. Now, when I'm looking at this reading, what I'm seeing is an abundant amount of duality. And that isn't something to be shied away from. It's something to be witnessed. It's something to observe, something to notice about yourself. Not about others, about you. Others will do what others are going to do. Leave them to it. Not your business. This is about you. But by witnessing these elements of you and who you are, you can then embrace them as part of the whole of you, the whole essence of your being, and then you can shine this light. Let's see what else. The language, the light, what are these cards called again? The secret language of light. I couldn't quite get out. Secret language of light. Any further guidance in regards to this? Oh, yeah. And one. Two there. Okay. So, ask your soul. can ask your soul to help you with this. Because I've been in the flow for a while, and being in the flow has allowed me to witness these things and actually, be on that soul level of kind of like, can you give me a hand here? Because I've been asking for help a lot more in the past week or so, since a reading I did a couple of weeks back. Asking your soul, ask your inner self for help and guidance. Vesica Pisces, duality. But this is like unity. It's I have to read the book, aren't I? Inward revolution. We're just talking about inward revolution, that ability to see your whole self, every aspect of yourself, not just the light fluffy things, but like all the things that you might be shocked and realised, I didn't realise I did that, or I didn't realise I was that kind of person. But that's okay, that's part of who you are. That's part of the experience of being here. You are here to experience that, because you can't experience it when you're connected. You're not in a 3D body. You can't, because you're a part of yourself. In the 3D, you experience the feeling of and the understanding of separation and duality, which allows these darker elements of yourself to come out, or this confusion to come out. Inward revolution is about drawing it all together. Vesica Pisces, creating soul truth in the world, which is all about the duality of bringing it all together, bringing duality together into one. The outside world feels more real than the inner world, because we have been encouraged to focus more on what is outside of us. We have learned to give things that can be seen by others or touched by others more importance than what we feel. Making decisions can become difficult when our awareness is focused away from our inner needs and wants. Okay, another aspect then. Part of these distractions and manipulations and not being able to make a decision, potentially down to that lack of awareness of the inner, what's going on inside us. When our internal and external realities are integrated, decisions are clear and easily made, bringing it all together. Making decisions can become difficult when our awareness is focused away from our inner needs and wants. It's made difficult when our focus is taken away from our inner needs and wants. We're distracted by something. All that shiny. Do we really need it or want it? Shiny, it's beautiful, I want that. It's like, yeah, but do you actually really need it? So there's this element of witnessing, understanding that's what's happening, actually standing back and contemplating, is that an inner need, an inner want from my whole self? Is that something that's going to lead, or is it going to lead to a dominoes moment where everything's going to fall down and I have to start again? The dominoes moments happen all the time. We go round in cycles, around circles, putting the dominoes up, making a lovely picture, or whatever we're doing with the dominoes in life. And something comes along and we're like, ooh, shiny, and we go, boom, and the dominoes fall. And then we have to start again. So, things to consider. Feels like bringing yourself back into the heart-centered knowledge, knowing of yourself. Ask your soul to have this inward revolution. Ask your soul, witness what's going on with you, listen to your inner world, not just being distracted by the outer world, because the more you're distracted by the outer world, the more your dominoes are going to fall, and you're going to carry on repeating behaviours, repeating patterns, repeating the need to put those dominoes back up again, and you won't be able to because you'll be distracted by something else, and the dominoes will fall again. That's it. That is the reading, guys. Yeah, I don't know if this resonated with you, then fantastic. There is a way forward, so don't be discombobulated. I've used that word a lot today. Discombobulation is one of the best words I've ever used in my entire life. Don't be discombobulated by this. You have this potential. Everyone has this potential, and everyone goes through this level of distraction as well. And I will again myself, and it's going to take a repetition of the witnessing of these things, the understanding of and the awareness of, oh, that's what's going on with me, to then pull it all back together again so you can go forward in your inward revolution. Inward revolutions never stop. They happen all the time. Because there's always these cycles, and becoming aware helps develop the next cycle of inward revolution. So keep going. Fantastic, well done. Hope you like this reading. I hope it was useful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, reading number 3. You chose Rose Quartz and Golden Healer. Now, Rose Quartz is one of the most abundantly used quartzes, I think, because you get those facial scraper things and the rolly doodads. I have no idea what these things are called, by the way, but they generally, a lot are made from rose quartz. It's also rose quartz is a well-known stone, and it is associated with love and kind of like that self-love kind of element. Unconditional love, self-love, caring, kindness, friendship, comforting, and it is very soothing to hold. And I think rose quartz probably gets some sort of not bad rap, but kind of like, because it's so ordinary, it's so known, it can get lost, I think. I didn't really consider rose quartz when I started my crystal journey, because I was a bit sort of like, ooh, rose quartz, it's so common. But then I got this one as a freebie, so I thought I'll meditate with it and see what happens. So how beautiful that is. And it's so gorgeous. Honestly, absolutely gorgeous, soft, loving, gentle stone, and I would recommend it to anybody. It seems a bit vanilla, but vanilla isn't bad. It's just more accessible to a lot of people, which makes it a brilliant thing. Because I can guarantee you more people have got rose quartz in their houses, and probably just normal quartz, than any other crystal. But this one also has an element of golden healer in it. Not a very large element, but it would have come from a stone that had more. It's just been carved away, which is a bit of a shame really, but there you go. So golden healer, the properties of that are, according to Google, which I am just lost, aids with energy, focus and healing, clarity, peace and logic, love, compassion and self-love. So good with good with rose quartz. And spiritual abundance. Golden healer quartz has a rich golden colour, which will always be warm in tone. So this is golden healer in its own state. So you see it's got a nice golden tone, you can just see it there. So you've got these two elements combined. You've got rose quartz and you've got golden healer. Again, golden healer is actually quite lovely to meditate with as well. So I'm going to do a quick tune in with the crystal just to see if anything comes out, so bear with. Okay, I'll use that one as well. Don't be disappointed. By what could be considered as mundane. Ice cream van. Oh, sometimes we have to live and experience the mundane things, the everyday, the trudge, to actually fully appreciate when something different or more exciting comes along, like the ice cream van. And even though some of that is an everyday occurrence. So the exciting actually can become mundane as well, because if it happens too often, it just becomes normal. This feels like a very different energy. I'm seeing a woman in a black dress. She's quite short, but she's large. And she's weirdly getting bigger and is finding it hard to fit through the door. She's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And taller and taller and taller. She feels like a gentle energy. Oh, feels like internal love growing and growing and growing. It's like she's looking down, observing everything below her, watching, protecting, observing, and loving. That's quite warm in my hand. I'm just seeing people in hats now. Okay, people in hats. I don't know. I like the old school hats with the. It's getting warm. I see like a wig underneath it, like those old wigs, and they're sort of curled around like that. Men used to wear them back in the day, grey, sort of. Don't know whether they were grey, but they're always grey. Is that to do with a lawyer? Interesting. Okay, I don't know. So, we're going to use the Muse Tarot for the reading, because they're pretty and they are jumping out, and that is way too many cards, guys. I'm going to use all of these. I'm going to use that one because it was face up. 4 of materials. So I just go, ooh, sultry. Why is there a camel? Camel flowers. It feels very Spanish. Camel has just got longevity in a harsh environment. A Got the delicate flowers. She looks like she's swooning. What's that? Camel, harsh environment. Don't know. This came up in group 2, 7 of inspiration. I'm getting from this, for this group, I'm getting pushing through the shadow, holding the shadow back. Wow, these are jumping. This did not happen in the first 2. Ace of inspiration. The world. Oh, so this come up in the first. So these are all linked then. Ace of inspiration and 10 of emotions. This giant flower is making me think of the woman I saw in the vision of growing until she was so tall. She was looking out over, sort of watching the world beneath and overseeing. That's the word, overseeing. And now no more cards are jumping out. So I'm going to shuffle one more time and just see if anything. What's that one? 2 of inspirations. Interesting reading. Okay, that feels like it wants to be down there. See, I'm still getting, from this tiny little camel over here, I'm still getting the longevity in a harsh environment. Being watched over. It feels like she's overreacting, and I don't know if that's just me. It's just the impression I'm getting from this card. She's being watched over, she's protected, she has longevity in a harsh environment, and it feels like she's overreacting to something. But I know that that's supposed to be more of a sort of sultry, sort of ooh kind of thing, but that's just not the impression I'm getting. I don't know why. Holding back the shadow, letting the light through, being that point of I've got the word confirmation. Oh, I don't know what that's about. I don't know, confirmation. Letting the light through. Confirmation. She's protected. Okay, she's worked hard, holding it back. Confirmation on her own. She's holding back the world on her own. The light is coming through and it's shining down on her. Okay, so what I'm getting from these 2 cards alone is that how do I say this? This woman has it easy. She's protected. She has longevity in a harsh environment. She can sit back and enjoy and swoon and be all kind of precious. And then you got this woman she's struggled. She's holding back constantly holding back the shadow, trying to allow the light through on her own. She's naked. She's currently succeeding holding the shadow back, but I just get the impression she is exhausted. Dual aspects. There are definitely some people on the planet who are much better off in a very safe environment, having it easy, living a good life, don't really need to struggle much. And then there are those who struggle all the time, every day, so hard to hold back the darkness, to allow the light through, and it's a real struggle. This reading, though, is about that protector. It's the image of that woman. I keep getting this image of that woman coming through the door, getting bigger and bigger and bigger until she was so tall. She was looking out over everyone, watching the world below her, and keeping an eye on everything. I'm getting the impression she can't help keep the shadow back. That's a personal inner thing you need to do. However, you have the strength to do that still. You will always have the strength to keep doing that. And at some point, this lady who has probably gone through very little hardship is going to experience this. And the rest of this reading is really interesting because it feels like it's slightly separate. I just want to do that. Why do I want to do that? Clashing. Disagreement. Not understanding each other. Ace of Inspiration. This is a very, very different reading to the other two, I have to say. Well, that's an abundance of ideas. Growth. It's an earthy card. There's also heat here. Heat and earth, fire and earth. Inspiration. Oh, what could bring these two people together? What could make this easier? Well, maybe this is someone who has lived in a life where everything was okay, and now they're experiencing an element of this. And there could be someone here who has always lived in this state and really wants this and don't feel like they understand. There's real conflict here, whether it's a personal inner conflict or an outer inner conflict. It's an outer inner conflict because its perceived source is some other people, but the inner conflict is the way you're seeing it, the way you're perceiving what's happening and your response to it. But then down here we've got inspiration, we've got the thoughts, so just inspiration of thoughts, inspiration of ideas, ways forward. There's groupthink, there's group activity, there's this dancing in unison dancing together raises the energy, raising the energy, bringing the thoughts and the newness forward, having the strength. Seeing the potential in a place that is not obvious. A stark place where options seem to be few. But keep looking. Experience is as experience does, which means nothing. What the hell does that mean? Experience is as experience does. Any kind of guidance around what the hell that means? Sorry. I'm just like, what? If your experience is a blank slate, or is on the horizon, it seems like there is nothing there. You will only experience what it is that you are looking at. If you are always looking towards the blank horizon, then that is what you're going to experience. Change your perspective. Change your view. Change of what you choose to observe and see leads to new experience. You will only see what you look at. Experience is as experience does. You have the world at your fingertips. You always have and you always will. No matter and it feels easier to say. And I'm getting the feeling that would annoy a lot of people. Because there's frustration there. Where the hell, how do we make that, how do we make anything good happen when all we're doing is fighting to survive? Shift the external perspective. That's what I keep getting. Shift the external perspective. Find something new to look at. Experience is as experience does. Not sure how helpful this is, but you know, I'm getting it. I understand. I can also feel the frustration. I can feel the absolute frustration of people who are in the kind of space of constant struggle, constant kind of wanting to get out and to do something new and to be something different and to have the opportunity to lift their lives to a different level. Look at all these cards that spun out. That soul love, soul family, enlightenment. These are all the things. So this is the perspective. These are some of the things. Expansion, soulmating. Let your light shine. It's completely covered the tarot reading. Potential, different perspectives. Potential and different perspectives. So any more guidance? Find out who you are. Who are you? Because I can guarantee you are more than you think you are. Whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is that frustrates, or you know, you're literally living with something here. It's because you haven't found out who you really are. Who are you? Where's your power? You have it. It's in your hands. All this, you've got all 4 soul thingies. You've got soul love, soul family, soul mating, soul name. It's about connecting with your soul. Finding your soul family. Discovering your soul love. Hearing your soul name. Because you're more than this human experience. You just are. Everyone is. Change of perspective. Let your light shine. I'm going to end this reading here. I'm still feeling super frustrated. And maybe that'll come up in another reading. So I hope that was helpful in some way, shape or form. And yeah. You take care, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.